It's an honor for me to be in Cannes today on such a special occasion, the launch of a very interesting brand, Fabbrica Della Musa. I'm here with Mr. Hamid. I will let him introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Hamid Merati-Kashani. I'm a principal perfumer at DSM Firmenich, and I'm in love with fragrances. I like to create fragrances, and I work worldwide with different brands. And one brand which I am very successful with is Perfumer, for example. And my wife Barbara, she decided 2 years ago to have her own brand, and I was doing some fragrances for her, which we are launching these days here in Tax Free in Cannes.
So I want to start by asking the story about the love for Italy. As I see, it's a brand that embraces the Italian culture.
Absolutely.
And we would like to understand better which is the inspiration behind the brand.
Sure. So the brand is an Italian brand because Barbara and myself, we are not Italian. Barbara is German, I'm half German, half Iranian. But we love Italy very much, and we thought, and we heard about the legend in Italy. Her name was Sofia, and she was living close to Florence in Tuscany on a hill, and she had her own garden where she was planting many years ago, hundreds of years ago. But it's a legend, as I mentioned, her own plants, and the people from the little village, they went always to that place, which they called factory or Fabbrica. And when Barbara heard about that, because the people, they were picking up the flowers and the herbs and so on, and they were talking to Sofia how to do maybe fragrances. So it was a kind of news talking about fragrance and how to mix them. And when Barbara heard about this, let's say, event and legend, that she said it's more than a factory. So she said it's a news. Fabbrica Della Musa. And as a non-Italian, we wanted to illustrate different moments in Italy. And our brand is all about a library of luxury moments in Italy. And later, with another line which we have created recently and launched recently, we are going out of Italy and we discover different places in the world, because I lived many years also abroad in different other countries, especially in Brazil, in Germany. I was in US and Singapore, but for the time being, I'm since 15 years now in Dubai, and we wanted also to bring that, let's say, way of life and how we captured that moments in different countries into fragrances.
If you will have to choose 3 parfums from this collection, which has, let's say, your soul ingredients, something that you really love as a perfumer.
Well, in the first, let's say, launch of the classic line, I would say, where we have fragrances from places in Italy, from different places in Italy. I liked very much the fragrances like Cristallo Bianco and also Dolcetto Romano. And it means a lot to us to create that fragrances. And in the new exclusive range, which are more colorful, the bottles, we like very much the Il Bourbon and Opera Infernale, because we are using there some techniques which is not known yet on the fragrance market. And this is something so beautiful to discuss, how we create a fragrance.
Let's decompose one. I would like to take it and to smell it and
yes, for sure.
hear you.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you. So this fragrance is called Il Bourbon. It's an island which is not discovered yet. Where you go the first time on that island, you see the leaves and the beans of cacao beans on the floor. You're here, you listen to the animals, exotic animals on that island. It's very green. You have some dust on the floor, and so we created that fragrance. It's called Il Bourbon which is a little bit of a vanilla and chocolate. And just to tell you what I did with specifically with the chocolate is that we use a new technique, which is maybe very interesting, is that chocolate as such doesn't exist. It exists in the perfumery also, but it's just a name and so on. But we wanted to bring that chocolate also to life. So what I do with my nose and creating fragrances in my brain, the flavorist is creating, let's say, aromas or flavors with her mouth, and she's writing also formulas like me for the food industry, or to do, for example, for Coca-Cola, different tastes. And what I was asking the flavorist was to convert, for example, a chocolate, a Belgian Godiva chocolate, which is one of the high-end and best chocolates in the world, to convert that chocolate into a perfumery with a formula which I can use in the perfumery, and I use that chocolate, we call it Smell the Taste, in the fragrance Il Bourbon.
Wow, that's an interesting story.
Yes.
I think the new technologies nowadays are very important in this industry, because not only we can create new scents and new stories, but you also have a different facet of the parfum.
Absolutely.
And I think this is a strong point when you launch a brand, because we are searching for novelties, and I think evolution means also a new palette of ingredients and techniques. So, of course, your expertise is really important. I would like to highlight some ingredients that maybe are also very relevant in this collection. Maybe in Cristallo Bianco?
Yes, sure. In Cristallo Bianco, I was using some white peach and pear in the top note, and some fig accord in the middle note. Fig as such, as an oil, doesn't exist, so we do an accord which smells a little bit like fig, but it's not 100% fig. And then together with a magnolia, which is a white flower, and it's a very nice combination between fig and magnolia. And in the bottom note, I use some sandalwood from Australia, some musky notes, and some amber.
That parfum smells a little bit like almond.
Yes, that could be due to the little bit also fruitiness of the peach, together with maybe a little bit of cherry, which is also inside. So,
if you have to choose from your favorite ingredients as raw materials, tell us 5.
Well, if the people, if they know me and they know my work and my fragrances, which I launch or we launch already, or our clients launch already, they will know that I like very much to work with spicy notes. Spicy notes like cardamom or cinnamon. These are for example, 2 ingredients which I like very much to work with. And then I like very much to work with ingredients which are captives at Firmenich or semi-captives. Ambrox Super, for example, is something very interesting, which is very long-lasting, and it gives the fragrance a different dimension and very longevity. And then we have many musk ingredients at Firmenich that I use a lot, and also some woody notes like Nor-Libanol and sandalwoods.
Wow. I'm coming back to the brand because I want to understand exactly what is the vision for the future, and perhaps if you are considering some collaborations with artists or different kind of cultural activities.
Yes, we just mentioned Cristallo Bianco, and since we heard already that in some regions in the world, the people, they say this is the fragrance for the bride. We had, for example, the idea to collaborate with an artist in Paris. She's a painter with one pen. She's drawing pictures and everything on the roof. So during the Corona, when we were at the lockdown and she had to stay at home, so she was using a pen and she started to paint all the roof in her apartment. So we visited that place and we were Barbara and myself, we were so fascinated, and we thought maybe we can do and use this drawing maybe on our boxes. So we used Cristallo Bianco and also Dolcetto Romano, because these are the two fragrances from our classic range doing very well, and we wanted also to honor to that artist and to bring her art also on our boxes. And we will launch that hopefully soon in 26 to the market, and to also to honor to her. And she's a very famous artist already in France, and it is our pleasure and honor that she did for us some paintings which we can use on our boxes.
That's wonderful. Thank you for watching. I let you try and discover the collection. You have to smell it. You have to have it, because if you don't wear a parfum daily, you can't understand the story.
Thank you very much. Thank you.